I had taken an energy healing course a couple weeks ago, and the facilitator reached out to me a week after that and said that her granddaughter's cat ran away. It's a house cat, and I don't think was let outside, and I think made a beeline for the door, and away she went off on her adventure. Granddaughter was devastated. They couldn't find her anywhere, and they live on a rural property, so anything could have happened to her. Coyote could have got her or whatever, and so anyway, my facilitator had reached out and said, do you think you could reach out and help us find her? So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I've just started this course. I'm not even supposed to be tapping in, but I'll see what I can do. So I did tap in that day, and I didn't really feel like I got a whole bunch, but I did feel that she was okay. No animals had gotten her. And that's when I posted my request on our Facebook group, because I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll get someone more experienced to tap in. And I got no response. No one actually came back to say anything. So I said, okay, well, I guess this is on me. So I tapped in again, and I actually got a response. I got instantly pictures of this red and white barn. This cat was hanging out with the cat that was there in this barn, and I got a picture of a metal grain bin in the back of this barn as well, and so forth. So that's all I got, was just that flash. And so I relayed that back to my facilitator, and I said, this is what I got. I feel she's on a property somewhere close to where your granddaughter lives, but I don't know what direction. This is all I got, was just that picture, and I left it. A couple days go by, and still hadn't found the cat, and granddaughter's getting more worked up. And so I tapped in again. I said, well, that's the same picture I'm getting, and I'm getting the answer that cat's okay. So then I asked the cat, I said, do you want your humans to come get you? And I got this just a wishy-washy answer. It was like not a resounding yes, but there wasn't a flat no either. And I'm like, oh, interesting. I was dog sitting at the time for another friend, and the next day I was taking the dog for a walk, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I hadn't even tapped into the cat. I got these pictures again. This cat being all cute, laying in this little hollow in the ground kind of thing. I don't know what that was, but my thought was she's playing and just having a grand old time. And then I got more pictures of the yard that she was in. So in addition to the barn that she was hanging out in, there's a picture of a really neat and tidy garage. I was shown the inside of the garage, and it was, when someone, they sweep the floor regularly and everything's all neatly stacked in shelves, and it was just a beautiful, neat and tidy garage. And I'm like, okay, well, that's interesting. So I relayed that back to my facilitator again, and she goes, yeah, we haven't found anything. And then that night, I get a text saying they found the cat. And I'm going, I need to know the story. I need to know how this all happened. So when I talked to her the next day, she said my description was bang on. They were driving around looking at properties close by, and they drove by the one property that sounded exactly like what I just described, but there was more grain bins in the back, still a red barn, but the garage is what clinched it. They had they drove up onto the property a couple days earlier when I said the red barn, and their owners don't actually live there. They come and go. as their kids were living there, and they moved out. So they were packing up stuff. So they went to talk to the owner and said, you know, we lost our cat. You know, is it okay if we can come look around? We think she might be around here. And they didn't find her at that time. But when I sent the garage picture the next or 2 days later, they went back to the property and again looked around, and I guess she had a little tracking thing on her collar, but the battery was going low, so you couldn't hear the beep if she was near. So when they drove back into the property again, she was near at that point, and yeah, sure enough, she was in the barn. I was like, so yeah, I was stoked because I'm like, wow, that was the first time I think I've really gotten a whole bunch in that. So I'm like, yay. So that's my win for the day.